You ever noticed how someone's belief in you can change the way you see yourself? Or how a teacher's expectations can turn an average student into a top performer? This is not magic, it's psychology, and it's called the Pygmalion Effect. Today, let me tell you a story about a boy who almost gave up on himself until someone else believed in him more than he did. 15-year-old Ethan Parker sat quietly in the back of the class, scribbling nonsense in his notebook. The math teacher was talking, but Ethan wasn't listening. He hadn't listened for months. Once a curious child, Ethan had now become invisible, just another name on the roll call. Another kid who always scored below average. Teachers had stopped expecting much from him. His classmates either ignored or laughed at him. Even his parents had started using the same words again and again. He's just lazy. He never finishes anything. Maybe college isn't for him. Ethan heard these things often, and slowly he started to believe them. Until one day, something changed. It was the first day of the new school term. A new English teacher walked in, Mrs. Claire Burnett. She was young, energetic, and had just moved from Manchester. On her first day, she smiled at everyone, even the students who didn't smile back. Ethan barely looked up from his desk, but something strange happened that day. At the end of class, Mrs. Bennett walked over to him. Mrs. Bennett, you are Ethan, right? Ethan. Yeah. Mrs. Bennett, your writing is interesting. You have got a strong voice. Ethan, I just wrote some random stuff. Mrs. Bennett, well, your random stuff made me smile. I think you have got potential. No one had said that to Ethan in years. Over the next few weeks, Mrs. Bennett did something no other teacher had done before. She looked Ethan in the eyes when she spoke to him. She called on him in class, expecting real answers. She gave him books that challenged him. She wrote personal notes on his assignments. This line is powerful. You have got a writer's instincts. Don't hold back. Your words matter. Ethan was confused. Why was she doing this? At first, he thought she was just being nice, but then something started to shift inside him. For the first time in years, he stayed up late not to play video games but to write a short story. For the first time, he raised his hand in class. He began to feel something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Let's pause Ethan's story here for a second. What's really going on? Psychologists call this the Pygmalion Effect. It's simple. When someone believes in you, you start to believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, your behavior changes. You try harder, you take more risk, and you perform better. This effect is named after Pygmalion, a sculptor in Greek mythology who carved a statue so beautiful that he fell in love with it. Because he loved it deeply, the statue came to life. Just like that, when a teacher, boss, parent, or a coach sees potential in you and treats you like you are capable, you start living up to that belief. This is what Mrs. Bennett did for Ethan. She saw the version of him that could be, not just the version that was. 3 months passed. Mrs. Bennett announced a school-wide creative writing competition. The theme was a world reimagined. Ethan thought about entering, but doubt came creeping in. Ethan to himself, I'll probably mess it up, like always. He didn't mention it to anyone, but that evening, he stayed up until 2 a.m., writing a story about a boy who could turn his fears into birds, each one flying away as he faced it. It was raw, emotional, and honest. He submitted it anonymously, too scared to put his name. A week later, Mrs. Bennett entered the classroom holding a printed story. Mrs. Bennett, before we begin class, I want to read something special. As she read aloud, the room fell silent. Even the troublemakers listened. When she finished, a few students clapped. Mrs. Bennett, this story is brilliant. I don't know who wrote it, but you should be proud. Ethan couldn't breathe. Later that day, she found him alone by the lockers. Mrs. Bennett, was it you? He nodded. She smiled. Mrs. Bennett, don't hide anymore. You have got a gift. Own it. That one moment changed everything. Ethan started writing every day. He entered more contests. He began speaking up in other classes. His grades improved, not just in English, but across the board. The school noticed, his parents noticed, even his old bullies backed off. Ethan didn't become a genius overnight, but now he believed he was capable. And that belief changed how he approached the world. By the end of the year, he was voted most improved student. At graduation, he gave a speech. He ended it by saying, "Sometimes all it takes is one person to see you clearly, when everyone else sees a blur." And in the audience, Mrs. Bennet smiled with tears in her eyes. So, what you can learn from Ethan's story? The Pygmalion effect can work in your life too, both ways. Number 1, when someone believes in you, accept it. Don't push it away. Let it challenge you to rise. Number 2, believe in yourself like Mrs. Bennet believed in Ethan, even if no one else sees it yet. Number 3, be someone's Mrs. Bennet. Your belief in someone else's could change their life forever. Whether you are a student, teacher, a parent, a friend, or just a stranger, your expectations carry power. If you expect greatness in people, you often get it. But if you expect failure, you might get that too. Choose what you expect. Choose to believe in others. Ethan's story may be fictional, but the effect is real. Many real studies prove that the way we see others shapes their performance. In one famous experiment by Rosenthal and Jacobson, teachers were told that some students were gifted, even though they were picked randomly. By the end of the year, those students performed better, just because their teachers believed they would. Belief isn't a wish, it is a self fulfilling prophecy. So, next time you think someone is lazy or dumb or not worth the effort, pause. Maybe they are just waiting for someone to believe in them, just like Ethan.